Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having a wonderful day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. This isn't bad news or by any means, but it was painted as like something exceptionally wonderful that's kind of completely out of left field. VanEck, a global investment management firm, has recently announced their intentions to donate 10%, that is 10%, of their forthcoming Ethereum strategy ETF EFUT profits to the Protocol Guild for a minimum of up to 10 years. This is, or maybe it doesn't happen as much as it previously used to, quite common in that if there is a large company or institution who has a lot of Bitcoin, who has a lot of Ether, who has a lot of XRP, they want to make sure that the operations continue. So they give funding to these smaller developers and or larger developers who are working on the chain. Like I said, I can't remember any time in the last couple of years that we've had like, we're going to be giving you a portion of our money openly news. But it's a fairly normal thing to make sure that there's like interest in the chain, that it remains, and that you get new people into the space by allowing them to say, it's similar to what Ripple did a couple of years ago. You make a fund that is specifically for people who show their intentions of wanting to build on chain. And then they can go to the company. In this instance, it would be VanEck. They can also go to Ripple. There's also the Ethereum Foundation, the Cardano Foundation. You go to them and say, hey, I have an idea for an app or something that I want to build on your chain. Can I have funding for it? I believe it'll cost me around $300,000 to get it done. You go through all the channels, and then sometimes you end up getting the actual money. While their ETF, the Ethereum Strategy ETF EFUT, is not yet available for trading, this commitment underscores VanEck's confidence in Ethereum's continued success and its long-term vision for the cryptocurrency space. Meanwhile, Valkyrie is also another investment firm that is waiting for the SEC. Sure. The Protocol Guild is a grassroots collective comprising of approximately 150 individuals who serve as a crucial funding mechanism for Ethereum's core contributors. It facilitates mutual support among its members and provides the broader ecosystem with an opportunity to support protocol development efforts. Basically, there's usually companies circling around developers, like looking to give them money. If I give you $100K to build this, will you make a product that's worth millions? That's, we've seen this before in traditional finance. So cool. It's not terrible news, but I was shocked to see how popular this news story actually was, as if it was something completely monstrous. It's not out of the realm of possibilities of a company to donate to someone else who they think can make them more money. That's the VanEck is giving 10% of the money that they make from their Ethereum ETF, which is not currently active yet. News. And yeah, let's move on. Also in, Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange, has announced plans to invest $24 million into their engineering hub and development center in Gurgaon, India. Gemini Center for Crypto and Technology Innovation at the Cyber Hub will be staffed by over 70 individuals. This is interesting because as of right now, at the time of me making this video, India still doesn't have proper cryptocurrency regulation. They have that really weird taxation thing. I forgot what like the basis of the tax is, but I think every crypto transaction is supposed to be taxed at a 1% rate. What was it? India recently did something where they announced that they were going to try and be at the forefront of cryptocurrency regulations, which is what people in the country have been asking for since 2017. 6 years later, they still don't have it. We've seen a lot of cryptocurrency companies moving into, announcing their exposure to, and or working within India, which is interesting because there's no cryptocurrency regulations. A lot of companies years ago were also, I won't use the term kicked out, but they were basically told to leave or stop their operations because you can't work here. It's illegal for you to do what you're doing. We even saw a number of major cryptocurrency exchanges years ago announcing that they weren't able to do business there. The idea being, there's over 1 billion people there. If you get 10% of them to enter the cryptocurrency market, 100 million people moves the market, moves prices. So upon there being no actual proper crypto regulation, Gemini is announcing that they're going to be pushing $24 million into a development center, which is like, well, that's interesting. How are you guys doing that? They said, India has long been regarded as a hub for bar-raising talent. Bar-raising, is that a saying? Okay. By the world's top technology companies. And we are thrilled to share that we are deepening our investment in the country. Over the next 2 years, we plan to invest $24 million to grow our development center in Gurgaon. This was said by the CEO, APAC, and global CTO of Gemini in an announcement. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss founded Crypto Exchange. Will use the India Technology Center to develop products and services across engineering, design, and operations for their customers worldwide. Cool. Another okay, sure, why not kind of conversation. Clearly, someone's moving money around in the background. Gemini and Coinbase and Binance are all rich enough to be able to talk to these world leaders and members of central banks and be like, hey, we need some paperwork done. So I assume that's part of what's been going on. Cool. This may sound crazy, but I am really excited for India to properly have cryptocurrency regulations. A lot of the, I think, fear of India getting into the market comes from the leaders within India who had indications before, back in 2017, that crypto was becoming like a bit of a powerhouse within the country. But we also have the conversations of countries are trying to make central bank digital currencies. They're trying to reel in all these other things that are currently going on. So if you have any indications that cryptocurrencies will be the preferred method of finance and or use within your country, you would probably make it take a back seat and announce every year, as India has done, that you are going to give proper crypto regulation. So whenever they do, good times ahead. That's the Gemini and India news. Moving along. In lightly confusing news, but I guess we'll get there together. In a recent statement, Binance has announced their plans to extend the risk tag that it is given to certain digital assets to more digital assets. Binance and Coinbase have something similar. I think Coinbase is like a test hub of sorts where if there are certain coins that they are looking to add onto their website, they put them into a test area to see if they receive an adequate amount of liquidity. And if they don't, the coins end up getting removed. If they do, then they end up getting moved on to the normal Binance, to the normal Coinbase website. But I think Binance maybe does it opposite. They kind of just add whatever. And then at some point, if the coin becomes at risk, it ends up having we are monitoring this coin tag attached to it. The exchange noted that effective early October, they would be monitoring something called Beta Finance, Barn Bridge, Walton Chain, and NEM. NEM is a very old coin. It is NEM, and the thing for it is XEM. That coin's 2014, 2015. I'm surprised that the coin is even still around. They haven't done anything with the actual project. The confusing part is that apparently 31 coins are under surveillance, but they only listed 4. It says more down here as well. Binance mentioned the expansion of the monitoring tag comes in response to recent assessments which have identified the need for more scrutiny. Apparently, volatility so. Apparently, they're also nope. Is that part of it? Yeah. Apparently, the FTX token, logically, Voyager token VGX is also there. I went to the Binance website and found the actual news about the 31 coins, but they were still only talking about Beta Finance, Barnbridge, Walton Chain, and NEM. I don't know where the other coins are, but these are all that we're able to see at the moment. So, yeah, I assume with liquidity not being that high for Bitcoin and Ethereum, there was going to be a bit of an issue with other altcoins that, one, no one should have had in their portfolio, and two, coins that people weren't using for a number of years. Even when we have these liquidity crunches or the drying up of people trading coins more actively, a lot of the larger coins have problems. So a lot of the coins that no one cares about are probably also going to have issues as well. There's a lot of coins in the market that no one should be touching because they either have weird backgrounds and or no one used them before and no one will be using them in the future. So just use that as a bit of a, what have you. That's the Binance. 31 coins are now being monitored by Binance, I guess, apparently for removal from their website. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll figure out what the other ones are relatively soon. Let's move on. Also in popular news, because that's the cryptocurrency space now. Coinbase has received a major payment institution MPI license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the MAS, underscoring the cryptocurrency exchange's commitment to the country. So this might sound familiar. It's not. The news that we had recently also was that Coinbase just received approval to be able to do business within Spain. It is quite frequent now that we're getting news from these companies. Ow, I just cut myself. How did I do that? Ow. What was this? There's nothing around me. What happened? My finger. What was I saying? Yes. The news that I was touching it. Why was I putting my finger on it? The news is that recently we had news that a number of companies within the cryptocurrency space are now allowed to work within Spain. And now we're getting news that Coinbase, who recently also announced that they're going to be expanding further into the world. This was a week ago. They said it as some really weird celebratory thing that you know what? The US isn't giving us what we want. We're going to continue moving around the world. And it's you guys should have been doing that about a good decade ago, but alas, here we are. The license comes after Coinbase received in-principle approval from the MAS earlier this year. It enables the company to expand their offerings of digital payment token services to both retail and institutional clients within Singapore. They said the newly acquired license is not only a validation of Coinbase's a validation of Coinbase's operations, but also represents a promise and responsibility to the growing crypto and Web3 community in Singapore. This was said by the VP of Internal and Business Development at Coinbase. Have a seat. I hate when people say that. We're committed to helping everyone. No, you're in it for yourself. If you were really committed, you'd be giving free money to people on Coinbase all the time. You'd be trying to literally enrich people's lives. You're doing this because you figured out that there's extra money to be made in Singapore. And you also can't leave a statement we are going to make sure. Imagine if Coinbase was we're going to make sure while we're in Singapore, we're not following any rules. We're going to be jaywalking. And we're going to make sure that we have everyone's Bitcoin on one hard drive from 1982. Everyone cool with that? You have to always have these we're going to do amazing while we're here. The MPI license allows companies to offer digital payment token services alongside cross-border money transfer services and domestic money transfer services within Singapore, because we still live in the 1800s where the idea of cross-border is still even a thing. So tying direct loosely into that news as well. Ripple has secured a major payments institution MPI license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. The approval follows the MAS's initial in-principle approval for Ripple's application in June of this year. Yeah, everyone's getting approved. You get an approval. You get an approval. You over there, no. You're Sam Bankman-Fried. You get nothing. So yeah, Singapore seems to be rolling out all their institutional license applications at the exact same time. So Coinbase and Ripple both got it. It says with this license, Ripple can provide regulated digital payment token services within Singapore. Given that approximately 90% of Ripple's businesses take place outside of the United States, the Asia-Pacific APAC region is gaining prominence as a significant market for the blockchain company because they imagine releasing rules and regulation, and that's all that it takes. That's all some people need. Brad Garlinghouse said, since establishing Singapore as our Asia-Pacific headquarters in 2017, that's a while. It took them 6 years to get paperwork. The country has been pivotal to Ripple's global business. We have hired exceptional talent and local leadership, doubling headcount over the past year, and plan to continue. He said a lot. And plan to continue growing our presence in the progressive jurisdiction like Singapore. Under the MAS's leadership, Singapore has developed into one of the leading fintech and digital asset hubs. He said way too much. Cool. Amazing. So Ripple and Coinbase both got paperwork there at the exact same time. I hope it works out for them. I hope they become richer. I hope they make money within the borders of... Almost said Singaland. Is Singaland a place? Singaland. I was thinking Singapore and like Finland? Singaland. Cool. Amazing. Awesome. It is always very good news to hear that a country is not banning crypto. Golf clap. Very good news. It's even nicer to see that other places around the world are giving cryptocurrency regulations. I do wonder if it actually took 6 years for them to receive paperwork from Singapore. I like to believe that it doesn't, because I think paperwork can be filed in 2 or 3 months. But yeah, is this also it? Yep. Also another article about it. Ripple received digital asset license from Singapore Monetary Authority. Fantasticals. Fan magicals. That's the getting paperwork news. And yeah, let's move on. In a continuation of a previous story that we had before, the first ETFs, exchange traded funds that are linked to Ether futures, after they made their debut, I was telling you the numbers. This was like 5 days ago. Telling you the numbers of how not well they were doing. The news was apparently there was almost no interest in the actual Ethereum futures that were launched. And I basically said, yeah, because not many institutions actually care for futures. And that is to say crypto futures. Because I think most institutions have come to the logical conclusion that the best thing for them to do is to actually buy the cryptocurrencies themselves. It says, however, the launch of these ETFs failed to generate much trading activity. The 6 new Ether futures ETFs from ProShares, VanEck, and Bitwise had a combined $1.9 million in volume on their first day of trading. For reference, that's nothing. That's literally absolutely nothing. ProShares, the largest of the funds, had $870,000 traded. That is to say, most institutions will trade around 100K at a time. So this is maybe 8 companies who put their money into this. There's a pretty little chart right there. Absolutely incredible. The news basically being that when the first Bitcoin futures ETFs were launched in 2021, or rather this one that they're talking about, it had $1 billion worth of trading volume. So you compare the 1 billion for Bitcoin to 1.9 million for Ethereum. It's not that Ethereum isn't popular. Of course, we're going through this market down phase right now, but no one wants this. The entire point of these things is for people to be able to bet against the market. We know that because we were told this by the former head of the CFTC. It's just more of a cool. It's meant to be a, what's the word? I can't remember what it is right now. It's meant to be like a, you know, like when you want your dog to run away, so you just like pick up something, you throw it across the room, and then he runs towards, and he's like preoccupied for a while. Is that distraction? That's kind of the word. We all know that everyone just wants spot ETFs, which the SEC refuses to give. And therefore, this is kind of like, oh, cool. You know, you have a futures ETF, like go deal with that in the corner kind of thing. But no one wants these. Everyone wants a spot ETF because everyone else in the world already has them. So cool. That was just a continuation of the numbers. I think I told you like 2 or 3 million a couple days ago, but the real number is 1.9 million in total across 6 futures ETFs. That's the Ethereum futures news. Moving along. And also, I think people also wanted this to be big news, but it's like, Taiwanese lawmakers are hoping to propose a bill for the first reading by the end of November to prevent what they say is regulatory arbitrage due to increasing concerns about foreign cryptocurrency exchanges. Taiwanese parliament member Yung Chang-chiang said in an interview that special cryptocurrency asset legislation is necessary to regulate cryptocurrency companies. He argued that the asset class differs in many ways from traditional financial products and should be overseen by separate, dedicated legislation. Can you imagine if the Congress and the Senate in America was like, hey, cryptocurrencies came out after the internet and TVs. We should have a brand new regulator set up just for cryptocurrencies as opposed to giving it to the SEC, which has been around since the 1910s. Chiang held a public hearing in the parliament and discussed the draft proposal for cryptocurrency asset service providers, legal experts, and for academics. The major news story is that Taiwan has come out in support of not banning cryptocurrencies, but instead they have announced that they are going to actively create cryptocurrency laws and legislation and regulation for the space. Last week, the Taiwan Financial Supervisory Commission issued guidelines for the cryptocurrency sector to create... Where's my phone? It's just gone? Okay. Cryptocurrency sector to create self-regulatory rules through a potential industry alliance, but these measures are not legally required. They said, in this case, under the authority of the special law, regulatory authorities can impose administrative sanctions on businesses that violate self-regulation rules. Without special regulation, regulators would not have the power to enforce sanctions. Incredible. Wonderful. Yeah, this was also big news. I would like to assume it has to do with the fact that maybe people like regulation news now. I'm not really sure. Wonderful. Cool. Any day without a ban is great. Any time that we hear that they're regulating as opposed to trying to stomp it into the ground, also great. So cool. Do I think it's the most exciting news in the world? Not by even 1% of a long shot, but we are still in this regulatory tornado that is everywhere around the world right now. I am glad that this year has actually moved as fast as it did. This was a very fast year for me. But I am happy that along this fast year, we have also seen regulation like actually taking place. There hasn't been a slowdown. We've seen comprehensive news that this is real, this is happening, we have paperwork, we can do this, so and so and so. So hopefully that by next year, this is no longer a discussion and we simply live in a world where despite the fact that cryptocurrencies should have had regulation since around 2013, 14, 15. We're just getting them now. Better super late than never. I'd rather have, cryptocurrency regulations rolling out now as opposed to in like the year 2045. That would be a shame. Yeah. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See